You guys aren't gonna believe this, but I swear on my wife's boyfriend's grave, all the new isekai from this anime season are actually pretty good. I know that sounds preposterous, but seriously, somehow none of them are bad. To support my anime addiction though, please remember to give this video a like. I'm Echidnut, and I hope you guys enjoy my first impressions of every new isekai airing this season. Spirit Chronicles is a pretty interesting new isekai I've been really enjoying, although it's arguably the most generic of the bunch. By the second episode, the main character is already a carbon copy of Kirito, but instead of getting trapped inside a game, he gets isekai'd in the most excessive way possible. Truck-kun gets hit by a bus, and then Bus-kun gets hit by a train, which hits another train, then someone stabs the main character, a tractor runs him over, Japan gets bombed again, and then a meteor hits the Earth. Alright, maybe I lied about everything after the training arc, but this dude seriously got comboed into another world, and then got comboed again after his arrival. In just a few episodes, he goes through quite a bit of suffering, and this anime did a great job making me hate the antagonists. Every villain in this anime strongly reminds me of Joffrey, so I can't wait to watch Kirito destroy them. This isn't the best isekai of the season, the plot and characters might feel kinda predictable, but it's still a good watch, and it's kept me entertained every week so far. How a realist hero rebuilt the kingdom is a lot less generic than you might expect. You know, normally when it starts raining isekai protagonists, most of them are pedos, neets, or even pedo-neets. However, this one just happens to be a competent, intelligent, and dependable person named Kazuya. So basically the opposite of the last Kazuya. Even the king, who's literally always an asshole in every anime ever, seems pretty level-headed and reasonable as he resigns from his position and gives it to Kazuya. So Kazuya becomes king and immediately starts hyping up all the citizens. He kinda acts like Rimuru, but looks like Naofumi and sounds like Subaru. Yeah, this anime is basically Subaru and Rem trying to fix the economy. It's 99% dialogue, so I don't expect any action whatsoever, yet every episode goes by very quickly. I never would have thought watching someone do their taxes could be so entertaining, but I'm really loving this anime. It's one of my favorites this season, and I would recommend it to anyone that doesn't have ADHD or dyslexia. That time I got reincarnated as a slime is one of my favorite isekai ever, and I'm loving the direction Season 2 is taking the story. I don't want to spoil anything, but I'd go as far as saying this season is even better than Season 1. Like Flames by Mindarine is also the best opening this series has ever had by far. I don't have any complaints about this anime other than the main character just being way too likable. In fact, my bank account just got reincarnated as a Rimuru figure, so now I have to eat ramen for the next month. Other than crippling me financially though, Rimuru Tempest has been a joy to follow, and I would highly recommend watching Tensura Season 2 Part 2. This next anime is probably the funniest isekai since Konosuba, which reminded me a new Konosuba anime is in production right now. We don't know if it's a Season 3 or another movie or something, but the art style appears to be completely different. Aqua's skirt, for example, looks even shorter than before, which is good because I always felt like it wasn't quite short enough. But anyway, The Dungeon of Black Company is about this evil corporate guy who enjoyed getting naked and laughing at poor people until one day a fucking portal just randomly appeared underneath him. Now he's making minimum wage working for a very unethical mining company. In the mines, he makes a couple friends though. One of them is another miner, and the other is a miner. She ends up eating the main character's ass, which makes a lot of sense because her name is Rim. Anyway, they accomplish a lot of great things together, like slavery, deception, stuff like that, and then the second episode is all about ants. Yeah, if you couldn't tell by now, I'm gonna make you watch this anime. I don't care if you're in Champ Select or if you're at a funeral, there's no excuse for missing out on this. It's the most unique and probably my favorite isekai of the season so far. Aside from being a parody of the isekai genre, it also feels like a parody of capitalism, and the comedy doesn't miss. The terrible working conditions are so humorous, the only thing that would have made them even funnier is if Studio Mappa animated this. Tsukimichi, Moonlit Fantasy, is also pretty funny. It's another somewhat generic isekai, except it's still refreshing to watch because the humor and premise are really well done. The protagonist gets summoned to another world that his parents were supposedly from originally, so he wants to find out more about them, making Tsukimichi one of the only isekai where the protagonist actually has a goal at the beginning. The comedy emerges after Makoto meets a pig woman, but hesitates to help her cause if he does, then she might become his main heroine. Anyway, he's really overpowered, so he beats up Blue Eyes and then fights Kumiko on steroids, except after he defeats them, they transform into waifus that fall in love with him. So every time we see a giant monster in this anime, just know that it's probably gonna join the protagonist's harem by the end of the episode. That might sound a bit stupid, but it's actually my favorite aspect of this anime so far, and I'm excited to see how many waifus this Chad Makoto gets by the end of the season. This is one of the better isekai airing right now, so I think you should watch it. Another sequel that's really good so far is My Next Life as a Villainess Season 2. In my opinion, the most annoying aspect of the harem genre is typically the clueless protagonist, except in this anime that's actually my favorite part. Bakurina's IQ is equal to the amount of likes this video has, but with a negative sign at the front. Generally speaking, stupidity is a bad thing, but this anime somehow made it endearing instead. She's so oblivious to everything, you just want to head pat her and tell her she's smart. Not to spoil too much, but you have to be a certain degree of dunderhead to get kidnapped and then forget that you got kidnapped. Katarina always makes the most out of whatever the situation is, but also kinda reminds me of a living shitpost. This series is a funny harem that polishes the reputation of the isekai genre, and it's great to watch if you want to feel smart for 20 minutes. It's also pretty relaxing, but the most relaxing isekai of the season is Cheat Pharmacist's slow life making a drugstore in another world. This anime doesn't waste any time summoning the protagonist or hitting him with a train, it just tells you he's an isekai resident, and that's all you need to know. But I used my imagination to give him a backstory, so now he's a high school chemistry teacher with terminal cancer who teleported himself to a planet where meth is legal. He then opened a dispensary and started lacing his potions with meth and CBD oil, enslaving the population by getting them all addicted, essentially conquering the entire planet and making himself a god. Yeah, not really. In reality, this anime has less plot than a hentai, but it's extremely chill and comfy to watch. It gets a bit repetitive, every episode kind of feels like a recap of the last one, but in a charming way. It's one of the few anime that can still be enjoyed even without paying full attention to it, so it's perfect to watch on your other monitor while you're playing Genshin or if you're in bed trying to fall asleep. Overall, it's probably the weakest isekai of the summer season, but it can still be a lovely experience if you're in the mood for it. I'm Standing on a Million Lives is an isekai that I haven't seen yet. Sorry guys, I somehow missed the first season when it was airing, so I've still got to catch up on this one, but it looks pretty good from what I've seen. If you're a fan of this series, I still read every single comment, so I'd love to hear what you guys like about it. I'll watch this one later in the season when I have some free time. Don't worry, it will be included in the tier list video for sure. Sonny Boy could maybe be an isekai. I don't really know what it is yet because of how confused I am. The first episode mindfucked me so hard that my brain got pregnant, but either way, it's pretty good so far, and I really enjoyed the first episode. No idea what I saw though. If we want to get technical, To Your Eternity probably meets the criteria for being an isekai, but honestly, I think it's just too good to be labeled one. Soon I'll be uploading a summer 2021 tier list video where I rank every single anime that's airing this season. It'll be a very big project and a huge time commitment, but I just really don't want to go outside. Make sure you subscribe so you don't miss that, and please give this video a like to support my anime addiction. Once again, I'm Echidnut, and I hope you guys enjoyed my weekly shitpost. Keep talking about isekai, I'm out for now. Peace.